If You Remember Me Tomorrow. In the heart of the coastal city, where the scent of salt spray mingles with the smell of old paper, 22-year-old Amara runs a bookstore called The Salted Spine. Every evening is the same. The lighthouse beams its rotating light, the gulls go quiet, and the clock on the wall ticks toward the evening. Amara moves through the aisles, dusting the spines of stories she knows by heart, waiting for the one moment that makes her day begin. At exactly 6:17 p.m., the bell above the door chimes. Julian enters, the cool sea breeze trailing behind him. He walks with a sense of wonder, as if he is seeing the mahogany shelves and the stacks of novels for the very first time. He heads straight to the poetry section and picks up the same weathered copy of Echoes of the Shore. Amara watches him, her heart doing a familiar, painful dance. Julian brings the book to the counter and sets it down. He looks at Amara, his eyes bright with a curiosity that feels both new and ancient. "I feel like I should know this place," he says softly. "And I feel like I should know you." He leans in, his voice a gentle whisper. "Tell me, do you think people can fall in love more than once with the same person?" Amara's breath catches, but she offers him a sad, beautiful smile. After Julian leaves, Amara retreats to the small apartment above the shop. She pulls a crumpled envelope from her desk drawer, the paper worn thin from being handled every night. It is written in her own handwriting, a letter to herself from a year ago. It details the car accident, the way Julian's memory resets every time the clock strikes midnight, and the vow she made to never let him wake up in a world where he isn't loved. The next day, 6:17 p.m. arrives again. This time, Amara doesn't wait behind the counter. She meets Julian by the poetry section. She recommends a poem about the tide, watching the way his eyes light up at the rhythm of the words. She shares a joke she knows he likes, and for a few hours, the weight of his forgotten tomorrows vanishes. They laugh, two souls colliding in the golden hour light of the shop. As the weeks pass, the cycle becomes a rhythm of devotion. Every night, Amara has to say goodbye, knowing that in the morning, her name will be a ghost in his mind. She spends her mornings preparing, learning new stories to tell him, finding new ways to make him laugh, and hiding the exhaustion that comes from being the only one who remembers. She chooses him every single day, even when it hurts, to start from the beginning. One evening, they walk down to the pier. The sun is a bruised purple on the horizon. Julian takes her hand, his grip firm and warm. "I have this feeling," he says, looking out at the waves, "that if I lost everything, my name, my home, my mind, I would still find my way back to this pier. And I think I'd find you here, waiting." Amara holds his hand tighter, wishing she could freeze the sun in place. Midnight arrives. Julian is home, lying in the dark, watching the shadows of the trees dance on his ceiling. The clock clicks. Usually, this is the moment the fog rolls in, erasing the day's colors and Amara's face. But tonight, the fog doesn't come. He remembers the smell of the books. He remembers the way she laughs. He remembers the letter he found in her shop earlier that day, the one she wrote to herself. He realizes the sacrifice she makes every day. The next day, Amara waits nervously at 6:17 p.m. Julian enters, but he acts hesitant. He asks the same question about the poetry book. He asks if they have met before. Amara feels a pang of familiar sorrow, but she begins the dance again, smiling through the ache to win him over. She doesn't realize that Julian is watching her with a new intensity, testing the strength of the bridge she builds for him every day. "You don't have to do it anymore, Amara," Julian says suddenly, dropping the act. He steps forward and takes the book from her shaking hands. "I remembered last night, and I remembered this morning." He pulls her into a hug, burying his face in her shoulder. "You chose me every day when I couldn't choose you back. Now, it's my turn." In the quiet bookstore, the clock ticks past 6:17, but for the first time, they aren't racing against it.